You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, my goodness. A'ja Wilson fans, A'ja Wilson herself, probably not going to be too thrilled with this answer that Becky Hammon gave about her versus Caitlin Clark. Now, a lot of it, okay, A'ja might not be so mad about. But when it comes to bringing fans into the league, Becky Hammon doesn't even try to hide it. She just admits it. It's Caitlin Clark. It's Caitlin Clark. And we've got Jason Kelsey's wife, Kaylee Kelsey. They're up in Philadelphia. Jason played center for the Philadelphia Eagles forever. He's a legend up there. She had A'ja Wilson on her podcast, and she is trying to recruit her to Philadelphia. Philadelphia's getting a WNBA expansion team. And while she was on there, she's trying to sell her on leaving Las Vegas. You're playing for Mark Davis, an NFL owner, and Tom Brady, the greatest NFL player of all time, also an NFL owner. That would probably be a pretty hard sell to actually get away from, in my opinion. So let's just come down here and see what Becky Hammon says about this awkwardness, okay, between Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson. Hammon also witnessed the league's massive growth spike since 2024, which is largely attributed to Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA. CNBC's Alex Sherman interviewed the iconic coach on November 12th. At one point, Sherman asked Hammon, for the general public, when people think about the WNBA, the first player that comes to mind is Caitlin Clark. Whereas in the league, it's pretty clear A'ja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA right now. Does that lead to sort of an awkward dynamic at all? ? Should be noted, there are a lot of foul calls that does send A'ja Wilson to the line. To the point that other fandoms literally call it her special whistle. When she plays, special whistle literally trends online. I kid you not. Quote, I don't think so, Hammon responded. I think people want to make more of it than what it is. Let the numbers do the talking. The winning do the talking. Caitlin had a tough year. Obviously, with injuries this year, she's going to be a tremendous player in the league. No doubt about that. A'ja Wilson is the best player on the planet, and she's got the hardware and the numbers and everything to back it up. But Caitlin Clark is bringing in the fanfare. She's one of the most exciting players to ever seen on the collegiate level. And I would assume a healthy year for her. She's going to be a great pro for a long time. But right now, A'ja is 6'4", is the most dominant player in the league by far. But there's a very key part of that. But Caitlin Clark is bringing in the fanfare. So for all of A'ja's skills, A'ja's very own coach has to acknowledge that when it comes to bringing in fans, it's not A'ja, it's Caitlin. It's Caitlin that is bringing in the fanfare. And that's just a fact. That's something we've talked about a lot over the last 2 years on this channel. It's not Angel. It's not A'ja. It's not any of these other players. So let's check this out. At this stage of her career, A'ja Wilson is a dream of every franchise in the league. Jason Kelsey's wife, Kaylee Kelsey, has made an early pitch to the Las Vegas Aces superstar to bring her to Philadelphia. Does it say when this league is coming, or this team is coming? Oh my God, 2030. Would she still be playing in the league in 2030? That's 4 more. Yeah, probably at the back end of her career, I guess. As part of the WNBA's expansion, Philadelphia will have its WNBA team in 2030. However, it didn't deter the wife of former Philadelphia Eagles center from making an early pitch to the best player in the world, and it was compelling. Quote, "I can set the scene for you," Kelsey said. "Our food scene, outstanding. I will tell you, the passion from fans in Philadelphia, oh yeah, unmatched. I will say on the receiving end from visiting teams, negative feedback from people who joined us, 10 out of 10. Big fans. They're big fans of our fans. We pour it all into it. We really love the people who ride for us." According to reports released by the league, the team will be based in South Philadelphia. Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment has the ownership of the team, with Comcast holding a minority stake. And by the way, in case you're wondering if you think that sounds familiar, that's Josh Harris, the owner of the Washington Redskins, who also owns the Philadelphia 76ers, by the way, an NFL owner. I suspect that's going to be a pretty badass market, actually. Look, I don't want to act like she's wrong about something. Philadelphia Eagles fans, and yeah, Philadelphia fans in general, very passionate. We know at times can get salty. All right, can get kind of salty. Looking right at you, CDS Sports Podcast. Let's Go Philly. The Let's Go Philly podcast is his football channel. He covers a lot of Philadelphia sports on there. Very salty group of fans, but yeah, they ride and die for their players. I mean, every player that ever plays for the Eagles is the greatest player of all time at that position. Nuh-uh. But anyway, not really the case. Just pointing it out. Still, they're very, very passionate. However, it should be noted, they are also very critical of their sports players, or can be. So the WNBA and their players better get ready for how that team is going to be treated and talked about, because it's not going to be warm and cuddly and fuzzy in Philadelphia. It is not. If you suck, if you're not performing, they going to tell you about it. Guaranteed. You're going to hear about it. In a lot of ways that probably the Indiana Fever and that we're very critical of Stephanie White and players on the team if they don't perform and blah, blah, blah. Shit. That's what it's going to be like in Philadelphia too. Right? That is what it's going to be like. Interesting. The backside of A'ja Wilson's career? Maybe, you know. I'm not ruling it out. Would the Aces by then, by the time they get to that expansion draft, would they be like, we're not protecting A'ja anymore? Aces fans mad as hell right now. Don't care. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.